In American manufacturing, we're hearing a lot about reshoring, you're hearing about a resurgence, a new renaissance in manufacturing. But the fact is that employment in manufacturing, well, it's just hard to find workers. And if we're going to successfully reshore from our traditional competitors, it's going to require something more than just more hands on the product. I'm with Bob Doyle, he's Vice President of the Association for Advancing Automation. Bob, we've got multiple issues in manufacturing today, one of which is a labor shortage.
Absolutely. There is definitely a labor shortage, and there's a skills gap. And that's one thing that we as an association and here at the Automate Show, we're showing how companies, especially small and medium-sized companies, can utilize automation to help get them to be a more productive, more efficient, and more competitive company.
Here at Automate 2019, we're looking at a lot of technologies, a lot of advanced robotics, things that look frankly like Star Wars. And the attendees I'm talking to here are saying that I could expand if I could just find the people. It's not just a shortage, it's a crisis. Would you characterize the labor shortage as a crisis?
I think it definitely is a crisis. And one thing that what companies can do is they can implement these types of technologies that you see here today in Chicago at the Automate 2019 show. But it's not only that. These types of robots and automation, it creates jobs and saves jobs because it allows companies to become more competitive in the global marketplace that they all compete in today. So let's talk about how we train the next generation workforce. And because a lot of these jobs, whether they're robot technicians or robotic engineers, they're available right now. And so I know there's a lot of community colleges and other types of technical education programs that are helping to train the next generation workforce in advanced manufacturing.
Yeah, Bob, young people today, of course, it's an app-driven society. It's about coding, it's about software. But automation is coding, isn't it?
Absolutely. There's a lot of software that has to do with these technologies. And I think what's fun is there's a hardware component too. So you're just not in front of a computer all day programming. When you have an opportunity to work with a robot and really show how you can transform a company by integrating a lot of these types of robotics and automation, especially, like I said, the small and medium-sized companies who are having trouble finding employees to fill the jobs they have today.
Now, the mass media, they frequently report on automation as a job killer, as something which will be a negative thing. Often we see images of factories from the 1960s, for example, typically even those today. Is that mass market perception, is that a problem in the future?
It is a problem. That's one thing we try to do is it's actually opposite. And we track the robot sales stats in the United States. And actually, as robot sales go up, the unemployment rate goes down. So like right now, the unemployment rate, of course, is very low. Robot sales are skyrocketing. It's because that companies, when they implement robots and automation, it allows them to become more successful, which now they're hiring more people as they continue to grow. And the jobs that they're creating are much better jobs. And the robots are kind of taking the dull, dirty, or dangerous jobs. Because really what they're taking is tasks. They're taking tasks that really a person isn't going to want to do anyway. That's why some of these jobs are so hard to fill.
Now, from a cost perspective, of course, a lot of competition, particularly in Asia right now, and it's global, it's Mexico, it's everywhere. Labor cost is a major advantage. Is automation the way that American manufacturing can push back against the labor cost advantage?
Yes, absolutely, because it's really difficult to chase low-cost labor around the world anymore. So that's why we need more and more of these companies, especially in the United States, to implement these types of technologies to remain competitive. Because even though we still make a lot of stuff here in the U.S., and we are a great industrial manufacturer, and so we want to make sure that our companies have the tools necessary to remain competitive, and those tools are automation, robots, vision technologies, anything that we can do to help these companies be more competitive.
For a young person today looking at a future, an industry to choose at this point, is there a career here?
Absolutely. Look at all the cool stuff around here that people get to work with on a day-to-day basis. So I would highly encourage a high schooler or even someone returning to the workforce, maybe a returning military, to look into automation for a job. So as I mentioned, the 4-year degree type engineering programs are important, but even more important are perhaps a 2-year program at a community college, where they can get the appropriate training and fill many of these jobs that these companies are looking for people today.
Bob Doyle, the Association for Advancing Automation, says advanced automation is good for jobs, good for the economy, and a great career.